Talking about the fiscal space, you gave me two figures. One has to do with Eurobond.
Yeah, the 4.4 billion fiscal space we got from that.
No, you were referring to
the debt forgiveness.
No, the debt forgiveness is the 4 point something.
Yeah.
Then you were referring to fiscal space of some 2 point something billion.
Okay, that was
the deferred payment.
Yeah, that was the 5.1 billion restructured debt with the official creditor committee. Yeah.
So the deferred payment is what, 2 point something?
Yeah, 2.8.
Which is 2.8, which we will start paying in 2026.
Yeah, after 2026.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and then you referred to another one.
The Eurobond one, yeah.
That one too has a deferred payment of how much?
$4.4 billion.
Okay.
$4.4 billion.
Which will start paying where?
The same period.
2026.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so this is why I asked the question. So if you look at the two, we are speaking of about some 7.2 billion.
Yeah, 2.8 plus 4.4.
Yeah, 7.2 billion. 7.2 billion.
Okay.
Yes. Which we will start paying from 2026.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did the media review tell us the plans that government is put in place to ensure that when this monies are due from 2026, we will be able to pay?
So what the minister read to us was an abridged version, and he told us that the Hansard should capture the entire one. As we speak, I've not seen the full statement issue. Okay, maybe the plans and the formula you are requesting might be captured in there. But for me, the good news is that, I mean, the space that it offers us. You know, this country.
Do you know why I asked the question?
No, I don't know, unless you tell me.
So the reason I asked the question is that, you know, we announced debt default November 2022. We are here in 2024. So even though we have not been servicing our debts with respect to these ones, we've not been servicing our debt since November 2022. We know the kind of situation that we still find ourselves in. So that's why I asked the question, that if all of this will be due from 2026, and we are talking about fiscal space, and we are talking about a windfall, 2026 is just around the corner. Yeah. So obviously, there ought to be a strategy which says that on the basis of this fiscal space and the windfall, this is what we've put in place to ensure that we're going to set this aside to make it possible for us to be able to. That's why I
agree with you. That's why I also said that, because you asked me whether the plan
was in the document
was, and I said that, you know, what we were ready to know. Probably it might find expression in the full one. If it's not there, I'm sure the ministry will have a way of dealing with that. Because at the end of the day, you have some fiscal space. You also have obligation afterwards. What are you going to do to ensure that the benefits are sustained, so that you don't get to 2027 and you are still struggling? Largely, the interventions the government will put in place will determine that if we are able to strengthen our city, I'm sure that, I mean, the volume in terms of how much we are supposed to pay will come down. In the media policy review, we also saw that, for example, plans to reintroduce road toll and bridge tolls. For me, if it is done well and done efficiently, from 2025, we should be able to rake in additional revenue to help us deal with some of these issues. The integrated property system, if it is done well, I'm sure it also will give us some fiscal leverage. So these are some of the new things. So if my friends in the NDC say that there was nothing new in the budget, I'm scandalized, because obviously there are some goodies captured around the internet.
By way of preliminary remarks, my brother said that he hasn't seen the full document, so perhaps there may be some strategies in the full document for paying the debt relief, which will mature in 2026. I want to be generous enough to offer a copy of the full.
Were they not
version.
pigeonholes?
Yes, they were
Pigeonholes.
they
Okay,
were
I'll pick
delivered
mine.
yesterday.
I'll
Yeah.
pick mine. Yesterday I left Parliament to the ministry, so.
And I can assure you that when you go through the entire document,
including the appendices,
there are 535 paragraphs and the appendices. I've gone through the entire document, which is about 110 pages. There is no strategy for the next government leaving money behind, as President Mahama did with the sinking fund, IF and others. For you, it's all about borrowing to spend today. How we can get debt relief and blow it today. There's no plan for the future. You are not thinking about the next generation. And this document bears me out. All you have done is to kick the can down the road and saddle the next government, the next Mahama
NPP government,
Opoku Ajiman NDC government with all of these debts. So even before we take office, our official creditor committee partners will be expecting that in 2026, the debt relief of $2.8 billion paid them. You're making no provision for that. Then the Eurobond holders will also be expecting that by 2026, $4.4 billion. You go through this entire document and there is no strategy, no plan for how we are going to defray these obligations. How did we get here? It must not be lost on any of us. We got here because of reckless borrowing. In Parliament, consistently, we cautioned this government. We told the Honorable Ken Oforiatta that this borrowing binge, this his penchant to borrow recklessly, it will lead us into the abyss. And that's where we are now. He didn't listen because he had vested interests. The more he borrowed, the more the percentages for his business interests and collaborators in the name of arrangers' fees and all kinds of percentages. Now, here we are. We have saddled this country into the biggest debt crisis in living memory. At a point, our debt to GDP ratio in excess of 100%, something I haven't seen in my entire lifetime. That is what you saddled us with. And if you look at the public debt situation, it is worsening, at least from January to June this year. According to the new Minister for Finance, our public debt situation now stands at 742 billion Ghana cedis.
This is minus debt forgiveness.
This is minus debt forgiveness. You know, so and that is 70.6% of GDP. We have crossed the dreaded ratio, you know, of 60%, which the NDC government never did. We never got anywhere near, you know, the dreaded 60% mark.